When you think of the most dynamic players in baseball today, who comes to mind?
It's questions like that that made Van Gogh cut off his ear.
Ellie De La Cruz is a great answer. Gunnar Henderson is must-watch in Baltimore. Maybe Bobby Witt Jr., Jarren Duran, or Julio Rodriguez. MLB is in a great spot right now. But there is one player in baseball who's starting to put it all together before our very eyes, and by the numbers, is flashing the potential of becoming one of the most dynamic players in all of baseball. And there's a good chance you didn't realize how good he's actually been. But why would you? All things considered, something like this isn't supposed to happen.
What?
Brenton Doyle, the Colorado Rockies Gold Glove center fielder and the only player since 1927 to make it to the bigs from Division II's Shepherd University, has always possessed that perfect combination of tools to be a star. But after his 2023 season at the plate, I'd understand the doubts. In fact, as you'll soon see, no one else in baseball history has had a season quite as unique as Brenton Doyle's 2023. But thanks to some insane improvements at the plate, literally, things we don't typically see, that production is starting to show in a big way. In fact, Brenton Doyle might be the biggest All-Star Game snub of 2024.
Doyle Rules.
So where did Brenton Doyle come from? How unique was his 2023 season? How insane are the improvements he's shown in 2024? Was he really the biggest snub of the 2024 All-Star Game? And what's next for Doyle? Is this for real, or just another way for the baseball gods to tease Rockies fans?
Buckle your butts!
Baseball fans, today we dive into the legend that is Brenton Doyle in order to answer those questions and more. All because Brenton Doyle is evolving into a legit star. And all things considered, this isn't even supposed to happen. Welcome to Good Vibes Baseball. Please consider subscribing if you haven't. I do appreciate you either way. Now let's get into some good vibes, shall we? Doyle Rules! Fans of the Rockies are familiar with that old battle cry anytime he does something exciting. And in 2024, it's being said a lot. But for the uninitiated, Gold Glove aside, you might not be familiar with Mr. Doyle's game. So where did he come from? Well, that's a big part of why this wasn't supposed to happen. Brenton Doyle was drafted in the 4th round of the 2019 draft out of Division II's Shepherd University and was actually developed by the Rockies. That alone can be hard to believe. I mentioned that he is the first since 1927 to make it to the bigs, but he's also one of just 4 players ever to be drafted out of Shepherd University.
I did not know that.
Doyle dominated while at college too, as he won back-to-back Mountain East Conference Player of the Year awards, along with numerous other honors while there. Go Rams! Fun fact too, but Doyle's Shepherd career, and baseball in general, wasn't even in his plans until later on in high school. He initially wanted to enroll with the Virginia Military Academy. Again, this isn't supposed to happen. Now after getting drafted, you might think it would take a bit for him to adjust to professional ball, coming from Division II and all. Well, not so fast, my friends. Doyle dominated rookie ball in 2019, hitting .383 with 8 nukes, 17 steals, and 33 runs batted in, and an OPS over 1,000. He actually led the Pioneer League in average, OBP, and OPS that year, and that was after coming back from a broken cheekbone. Unfortunately for Doyle, he was unable to build off of that incredible 2019 campaign in 2020, not due to injury though, due to COVID. That's right, Doyle didn't play a game in 2020. So not only is the deck already stacked against you coming from D2, but now you have to miss an entire season in your development. Again, this success wasn't supposed to happen.
You make a very compelling argument.
But Doyle didn't let that slow him down one bit. He overcame that lost season and continued to rake. And honestly, his 2024 breakout, which we will dissect in a bit, really shouldn't have been a surprise to anyone. He's just doing what he's always done, just now at the highest level. Across 3 levels of baseball in 2021 and 2022, Doyle carried a decent average, hit nukes, stole bases, and actually drove in a decent amount of runs. His 2020 77 run batted in 2022 across AA and AAA stands out in particular. Doyle rules! But if he was so dynamic in the minors, why are we just now talking about him as one of the most dynamic players in 2024? Well, let's just say his 2023 season, it was a bit of a stinker. Offensively. The 2023 Colorado Rockies were historically bad. The most losses in team history? Tough look. But for all of that bad, Brenton Doyle's defense might have been one of the only true positives. He was unreal in 2023. Using his speed to his advantage, Doyle tallied 19 defensive runs saved, led all of baseball with 14 runs prevented and 15 outs above average to go with a 2.2 defensive B-WAR. He didn't win the Platinum Glove, but he had a damn good case. But his offense in 2023? Well, it was the same as his defense, just opposite. Remember how I said his 2023 season was unique? Well, no one in baseball history has had a rookie season quite like his. He hit 10 nukes, stole 22 bases, posted an OPS plus of just 53, while accumulating a negative 1.1 offensive B-WAR, posting an OPS less than 600 and barely hitting 200. He was 47% worse than the average major leaguer according to OPS plus.
I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
But this unique combo of 10 home runs, 20 steals, an OPS south of 600, an OPS plus below 60, and a defensive B-WAR over 2 never happened before. Players were either just better overall with the bats or didn't have his defensive prowess. Rays legend BJ Upton actually had a season that was similar offensively to Doyle's 2023, but he wasn't as bad analytically and didn't have Doyle's glove. Braves legend Andrew Jones' 1997 season actually isn't that far off from Doyle's rookie year either. And we all know how Andrew Jones would turn out.
Yes, we do.
Legends need time too. Baseball Savant also shows that his 2023 was a rough one. He struck out 35% of the time, was chasing like crazy, and was not even expected to have success. His value was entirely all in his defense and base running, just like the stats say. But this abysmal 2023 season actually is an outlier when looking at his minor league and college numbers. That's why what he's done through the first half of 2024 shouldn't be a surprise to any of us. But what's really changed? After recording a historically bad offensive season in 2023, the one thing everybody said about Brenton Doyle was, boy, if he could just produce a little bit offensively, he might be one of the best center fielders in baseball. Well, he's hitting all right, and not just a little bit, but a lot of it.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Through the first 90 games of the 2024 season, or about 3/4 as many games as he played in 2023, he already has 14 nukes, 16 doubles, has improved his average by almost 80 points, his slug by over 100 points, already has more total bases than he had all of last year, and has posted an OPS plus of 120. Even with Coors Field factored in, he has been better than 20% of major leaguers with the bat, which is third best in baseball among center fielders, and an insane improvement of 67 points. He also has literally flipped his offensive B-WAR. He went from being worth a negative 1.1 wins to a positive 2.5 wins in these 90 games. He ranks 4th amongst all center fielders in offensive B-WAR. He's tied for 2nd amongst center fielders in nukes and steals, and is 3rd amongst center fielders in total bases and OBP. Baseball Savant also shows us how much he's improved in some very important ways. He's not hitting the ball that much harder, but he's not striking out as much, he's not chasing as much, he's walking more, and when he does make solid contact, he's hitting it at the optimal angle much more often. That K percentage is the real eye-opener too. He's improved it by over 10% in just one season. This shouldn't happen. He's also sitting back, trusting his hands, and hitting the ball the other way with power. In 2023, he didn't have a single hit to the deep right center gap, and just 4 Oppo tacos.
Tacos, Ashley. Tacos.
Through 90 games in 2024, he has 2 triples off the wall in right center and has matched those 4 opposite field nukes. These are real improvements and are leading to real production. And we haven't even talked about his 8 outs above average and 7 runs prevented on defense, both good for 6th in baseball. Yet, he's not going to Texas for the 2024 All-Star Game? Doyle Rules! Unless you're voting for the All-Star Game, I guess. Kidding aside, looking at the list of the 2024 All-Star Game outfielders, the game is actually in a great place. But Brenton Doyle absolutely should be there. Jackson Merrill is one of the best young players in baseball. The vibes he's bringing to San Diego are absolutely above replacement. The Padres are also fighting for a playoff spot, with Merrill owning center field as a 21-year-old. But through July 12, 2024, Brenton Doyle has more dingers, double the amount of steals, a better OBP, slug, OPS, and OPS+. Doyle also has a higher B-WAR than the young Merrill, and his F-WAR of 2.9, not just better than Merrill's, but is good for 3rd amongst all center fielders. And that's just with the bat. Merrill is no slouch defensively, but Doyle rules! Remember Doyle's 8 outs above average? Well, Merrill has 2. So not only has Doyle been superior offensively, but also defensively. Yet, he's not an all-star. And that's just picking on Merrill. By outs above average, Doyle's defense is better than every NL all-star outfielder. He was snubbed!
This aggression will not stand, man.
And no disrespect to Jackson Merrill at all. This center field battle will be a blast over the next decade. So, what's next for Brenton Doyle? Can he really become one of the most dynamic players in all of baseball? I know I keep saying that this isn't supposed to happen, but it's true. MLB has never had someone drafted and then make it to the bigs from Shepherd University. He missed an entire season in his development and survived an abysmal 2023 season. And he plays for the Rockies. The odds, well, they're stacked against him. But Doyle rules! Currently, if Brenton Doyle can play in 150 games, he's on pace to finish 2024 with over 20 nukes, over 25 doubles, over 30 steals, and has a legit chance at an OPS north of 800, with a batting average of at least 275. In 2023, Julio Rodriguez, considered one of the most dynamic players in all of baseball, hosted a batting average of 275 while hitting 32 nukes, 37 doubles, and stealing 37 bags and posting an OPS of 818. Knock those nukes and doubles down a bit, and Brenton Doyle is right in line with Julio's amazing 2023 season.
Hot damn!
That is how good Doyle has been. Again, this shouldn't happen, and the scary part? He's not a finished product. He still strikes out too much, still is chasing some pitches, and his defense in 2024 could be even better compared to what he's already done. He's still been great, but once that R-field starts to rise, his B-WAR numbers will climb even more. Plus, he's already proven that he's willing to put in the work to get better. The sky really does feel like the limit for Brenton Doyle. But will he reach it? Why not? He beat the odds by simply making it to the bigs. He didn't let his unique 2023 season define him, but instead, he put the work in and improved in some insane ways from 2023 to 2024. He might have been snubbed from the All-Star game in 2024, but I bet that he doesn't let that stop him either. Brenton Doyle is evolving into one of the most dynamic players in all of baseball. And you could argue that all things considered, this isn't supposed to be happening. That's gonna do it for today, baseball fans. Thanks so much for watching. What do you think of Brenton Doyle? Anything stand out to you? Let me know down below. Be sure to consider subscribing if you haven't. I do appreciate you either way. Hit that thumbs up if you've enjoyed yourself. I know I did. But until next time, baseball fans, cheers!